सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाठक जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 राम हरे राम राम हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव भगवान की, निताई गौर सुंदर की, प्रतीत पावन श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्ठिकी। श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, सीताई गौसुंदर की, प्रदीप पावन शकुपाद की, गौर भक्तवृंद की, जय गौ प्रेमानंदे। We are studying from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4. Canto 4 is entitled as the order of the creation of the fourth order. Today's text number is 27, chapter number 2, which is entitled as Daksha curses Lord Shiva. Tasyaivam vadata sapam Tasyaivam vadata sapam Shrutva dvijakulaya vai Shrutva dvijakulaya vai Vigupatyarsach chapam Vigupatyarsach chapam Brahma dandam durutyayam Brahma dandam durutyayam Tasyaivam vadata sapam Shrutva dvijakulaya vai Vigupatyarsachapam Brahma dandam durutyayam Tasyaivam vadata sapam Shrutva dvijakulaya vai Vigupatyarsachapam Brahma dandam durutyayam. Word for word meaning Tasya, his Nandiswaras, Evam, thus, Vadataha, words, Sapam, the curse, Shrutva, hearing, which Kulaya, unto the Brahmanas, Vai, indeed, Bhrigu, Bhrigu, Pratyaya Sarach, made, Sapam, a curse, Brahma Dandam, the punishment of Brahmana, Durutyayam, insurmountable. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. When all the hereditary Brahmanas were thus cursed by Nandiswara, the sage Bhrigu, as a reaction, condemned the followers of Lord Shiva with this very strong Brahminical curse. Purport. The word Durutyaya is particularly used in reference to a Brahmadanda, a curse of a Brahmana. A curse of Brahmana is very strong. Therefore, it is called Durutyaya or insurmountable. As the Lord states in Bhagavad Gita, the stringent laws of nature are insurmountable. Similarly, if a curse is uttered by a Brahmana, that curse is also insurmountable. But Bhagavad Gita also says that the curse of benedictions of material world are, after all, material creations. The Chaitanya Charitamrita confirms that which is accepted in this material world to be a benediction and that which is taken to be a curse are both on the same platform because they are material. To get out of this material contamination, one should take shelter of Supreme Personality of Godhead, as he commented in Bhagavad Gita 7.14. Mamevye prapadyante mayametam taranti te. The best path is to transcend all material curses and benedictions and take shelter of the Supreme Lord, Krishna, and remain in a transcendental position. Persons who have taken shelter of Krishna are always peaceful. They are never cursed by anyone, nor do they attempt to curse anyone. That is transcendental position. Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Utpada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagan Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. So this section of Srimad Bhagavatam is very, especially very instructive for all the devotees, sadhakas. There are many points we can understand from this pastimes. We'll try to take some of them. So here Prabhupada is saying that the persons who have taken shelter of Krishna are always peaceful. They are never cursed by anyone, nor do they attempt to curse anyone. That is transcendental position. You'll see that even Narada Muni, who is Bhakti incarnation of the Lord, pure devotee of the Lord, he also cursed Nal Kuvera. How we can understand this? So, yes, mentioned that that is a transcendental position. Narad Muni, when he saw Nal Kuvera, they were so much, they were in so much degraded conditions that they even did not recognize the presence of Narad Muni, and they remained naked, intoxicated, and they were not bothered. So he didn't become angry. He became very compassionate, seeing such an important people, sons of such an important demigod, Nal Kuvera, and they have gone so much degraded. So, being sadhu, he felt so much compassion upon them, and in, in his consciousness, he's thinking, how can I help them? How can I help them? In thinking in this way, actually, he thought that if the Lord shows them special mercy to them, then they can be delivered. And then he striked out the plan that the Lord must show them a special favor. And he offered this curse to them that you become a tree, because you have become so degraded that you have not even bothered to cover your bodies, so you are fit to become tree. Be a tree for 100 years. In this way, they were cursed. In fact, this curse was not curse; it was a blessing in disguise, because even they would have remained as the devas, they would finish their all the results, accumulated results of past activities, and they will again come to earthly planets. In this way, they will keep rotating. Brahma Bhuna Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. They'll keep floating from Brahma Loka to Patala to 84 species of life all the time. And they'll be subjected to birth, death, old age, disease. In this way, constant suffering will be there. But by this curse, they were got an opportunity to be liberated from this material world. Not only to be liberated, they became devotees of the Lord. They witnessed the choicest pastimes of Lord Krishna. They became three in the courtyard of Nanda Baba, Yasoda Maya, and they were able to witness all the wonderful Bala Leela of the Lord. See, they were standing and witnessing, and they were being purified. They got the bhakti. When the devas, they will anchor to see these pastimes, and they were actually participating in that pastime, being in that place. So this was not a curse. It was actually the best blessings one can have. So devotees, they are above the three modes of material nature, and their curse is actually blessings. And in several instances we can see. So and then another thing is, Prabhupada is saying here that The Chaitanya Chaitamrita confirms that which is accepted in this material world to be benediction and that which is taken to be curse are both on the same platform because they are material. So in the material world, we see that people they are thanking for some benefits. They like perform some pious activity, just say please somebody and they get some benefits. That is one sort of like some benediction. And sometimes people do some mischievous activities and they will be cursed and then they will be suffer. So in Chaitanya Chaitamrita is saying that both suffering and enjoyment are the same only, because the suffering and enjoyment both like on the platform of three modes or material platform, it's there in the mind. The mind wants to have some good experience and to activate those activities which provide this good experience is called pious activities, punya. And if there are some bad experience, the mind gets some bad experience, and those activities which subjects this to bad experience, they are called papa, punya and papa. So both are material experience only. One is good, another one is bad, and according to that, it is designated good and bad. But the spiritual experience is completely different. It is not on this material platform, beyond three modes. It's not based on liking or disliking. It is not sukha or dukkha, heat or cold. It is completely different nature. That is we experience. The Prabhupada is writing in elsewhere that a spiritual experience or devotional service begins when we stop mental concoction. We stop mental concoction, then only our spiritual service is beginning, and it is very difficult. Durutya, bhakti is not easy. It is sudurlabha, very difficult. So I'll see our mind is always wandering on this ideas, different types of ideas, likes, dislikes, everything. So to stop this mental concoction is not easy thing. It's not at all easy thing. And when this mental concoction stops, then only our real devotional service is beginning. So because of this material concoction only we are feeling happy or distressed, all these things. So this Krishna Leela, we see when Lord Krishna left the gopis. He left the gopis, and then gopis were all searching him, and then finally they found Krishna, and then they brought Krishna to bank of Yamuna, and they made a nice flower sitting, and they put nice asana for the Lord, and then they made Lord to sit comfortably, and then they asked the Lord. There are three types of people, and we see that in category of lover there are three kinds of lovers are there. One person reciprocates what he is, the way he gets. Suppose if somebody is favoring him, then he will reciprocate accordingly. And then their lover in second category is even the person is not reciprocated, but still even he is not favored, still he reciprocates. This is a second category of lover. And then the third category is that neither he reciprocate nor he rejects. The gopis were very angry actually. The Krishna has left them and they were actually but they are very sweetly talking to Krishna, and actually they are pointing out that what is happening. Out of this, which one is the best lover? Then Krishna is replying to them very gently. Krishna is also very, it's one of the transcendental qualities of he is, he speaks very nicely, very sweetly. So he speaks also very nicely, replying to them that the person who is just reciprocating, is gets favor and is reciprocating accordingly, is not better than a businessman. Because in a business, if we get something, we give in return. Give and take. So he's telling this is like a businessman. Better than that is a second person, but who is not even reciprocating, not getting favor, but still is reciprocating. So this kind of relationship we can see Prabhupada is writing in the dealings of parents and children. The children, we see many cases they even don't, do for parents. They're supposed to take care of the parents, but they don't do that. The parents also have, they're looking for that they will do something, but they don't do. The children, they don't do. But still, the parents keep on serving them, trying to satisfy them. So this love is better than previous one. But Krishna is telling the real love is when person neither rejects nor reciprocates. Then there Prabhupada is explaining because there is no sort of expectation that this person will do something for me. The person is like he is self-satisfied. He is not depending in any way on his beloved. Like Krishna, he is a self-satisfied Atmaram. But he is not reciprocating nor he rejecting. There actually doesn't need any favor from the living entities, but still we see that Krishna reciprocates with them. He doesn't reject them. So actually Krishna is saying this is the real love. So we see we're discussing this point because when we become above mental concoction, free from the mental concoction, our real devotional service begins. When we are free from any sort of expectations which is arising from the mental things, which we keep hankering, this would have been done for me, that would have been done for me. Actually, anyway, Krishna is doing everything for us, but we are forgetful of all this, and we are just seeing that this was not done. It would have been done. So when we are above this mental concoction without any expectations, purely we want to serve the Lord. That is the real devotional service. It begins from there. Anya vilasitam sunyam jnana karmadhi anapit. So this was the nice point Prabhupada is mentioning here. We see also in Chaitanya Chaitamrita once Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was cursed. He went to take bath in Ganga, and there he was cursed by a Brahmana. He took his thread and forcefully, took the water of Ganges and he cursed Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hereafter I curse that you lose all your material opulence. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually took it as a blessing. This is material opulence is just a botheration. This is an opportunity to be free from this. And thereafter shortly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas. Even Narad Muni is being cursed by Daksha Prajapati, the son of Prachetas. So he has been cursed by that you will not be able to stay in one place. Then Narad Muni is saying, oh, is it? It's very good. If I'm not able to stay in one place, that will give more opportunity for me to travel and make people Krishna conscious. So you see that there's completely different stage, not on material platform. And then, yes, especially in this particular pastimes of Daksha cursing Lord Shiva, a very important lesson which we discussed during our Bhakti Vaibhav course also. that actually the disagreement was only between Daksha and Lord Shiva. Daksha was somehow he felt dishonored and he became disturbed, and then he started speaking ill about Lord Shiva. And the Lord Shiva didn't say anything. He's just keeping quiet because he is not bothered what he's saying. It's just out of anger he's saying something. But Lord Daksha is very disturbed because he's maintaining envy, and this envy is quickly turns into anger. So he starts saying so many things. In between, we see that both Daksha and Lord Shiva, this thing is going on, but the other people, they start getting involved. Then followers of Lord Shiva, they start cursing, and then Brahmanas, they start cursing. In this way, the whole thing becomes like a different group, and then this keeps on going. Just to end this, Lord Shiva walks off, and then slowly it stops. But till then, lot of damage was already done. So similarly, we see that we also come across that often we see that there will be disagreement among two Vaishnavas, and then we will be just hearing that, and somehow or other we get involved into one party, and then we also become victim of this. We are not anyway in that scene, but somehow or other, out of I don't know what's affecting us, we also joined that whole thing. So one should avoid this, and said that one should not take side of one Vaishnava. So we see that Brahmanas, they started cursing the Nandiswara. So it said that Prabhupada is writing the word Druteya is particularly used in reference to a Brahmadanda or curse by a Brahmana. A curse by a Brahmana is very strong. Therefore, it is called Druteya or insurmountable. As the Lord states in Bhagavad Gita, the stringent laws of nature are insurmountable. Similarly, if a curse is uttered by a Brahmana, that curse is also insurmountable. So, actually, curse of Brahmanas, they really work. Now we see in Kali Yuga, there are no qualified Brahmanas. So this doesn't take effect. May not be taking effect in that way, but still some other effect is there when we are cursed or blessed. In our course of action also, we can realize this when we are taking blessings of superiors, and when we start some work, then we start meeting with some success. Often we can realize this. So the blessings and curse counts. It's not all together, it's no use. According to the merit of a person, if he is a very nice devotee and he is blessing us, definitely it helps us to advance in Krishna consciousness. And similarly, if we do something by which he is offended, then our spiritual advancement is actually checked. This actually this is the severest offense to disrespect a Vaishnava. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this is a mad elephant offense. It's like a mad elephant has can uproot the whole creeper. Similarly, this Vaishnava offense can completely uproot the Bhakti Lata, creeper of devotional service, is just very tender and growing. It's very easy actually, but for this mad elephant, it is without any knowledge, he will uproot everything, and to that degree that it cannot again sprout. So similarly, if we offend a Vaishnava, then we see that our spiritual progress is stopped. last time also we discussed this pastimes of how Rupa Goswami unknowingly he was meditating on the pastimes of the Lord, and it happened that another Vaishnava passing nearby felt offended. Unknowingly, he felt offended, but still Rupa Goswami was affected, and his that smaran uh, on meditation on the Lord's pastime was stopped. So we should be actually we should count on the blessings. We should do activities by which people bless us. That is that's how actually the society of Vedic culture was made. That just to increase the blessings, so that it becomes more and more smooth for us to progress in our life. Our material or spiritual life, blessings actually is required. See that Yudhishthir Maharaj, as soon as he wake up, he will go first and he pay obeisances to Gandhari and Dhritarashtra. He'll go and touch their feet and take their blessings. And only from then only he will start his activities. So, by the examples of these great authorities, we should also learn. This intelligent person will try to increase the blessings, counts of blessings. But person who is fool, he'll not be bothered. Whether he is cursed or blessings he is not thinking at all. Cursed also is not bothered. So, but Prabhupada is writing, if there is a true Brahmana, if it's cursing, it's like as surmountable as material nature. You see, when Ravana he molested daughter-in-law of Kuveras, and he was cursed by them. He was cursed by the Devas, and he laughed at that time. But he was assured that if I do something wrong again, this curse is going to take place. So when he kidnapped Mother Sita, she did not dare to do anything to her, because he remembered that I had been cursed. So within that, he tried to achieve his purpose. So he was understanding this curse is there, and if I do something wrong, then I will be doomed. So be carefully, we should act in such a way that we increase the blessings. The blessings will actually help us to progress in Krishna consciousness. In our daily dealings also, we should behave in such a way that people naturally bless us. So it's very nice. He's a very nice person. He's a very nice devotee. Very good. In our way of speaking or way of reading or everything, we should just try to increase the count of blessings, and we should not behave that people feel that cursing us. Read some next verses also. One who takes a vow to satisfy Lord Shiva, or who follows such principles, will certainly become an atheist and be diverted from the transcendental scriptural injunctions. So this is the curse given by Brahmanas to follower of Lord Shiva. That one who takes a vow to satisfy Lord Shiva, or who follows such principles, will certainly become an atheist and be diverted from transcendental scriptural injunctions. It is sometimes seen that the devotees of Lord Shiva imitate the characteristics of Lord Shiva. For example, Lord Shiva drank an ocean of poison. So some of the followers of Lord Shiva imitate him and try to take intoxicants like ganja. Here the cause is that if someone follows such principles, he must become an infidel and turn against the principles of Vedic regulations. It is said that such devotees of Lord Shiva will will be such shastra panthina, which means opposed to the conclusions of the Shastras and scriptures. This is confirmed in the Padma Purana also. Lord Shiva was ordered by Supreme Personality of Godhead to preach the impersonal or Mayavada philosophy for a particular purpose, such as Lord Buddha preached the philosophy of wideness for a particular purpose mentioned in the Shastras. Sometimes it's necessary to preach a philosophical doctrine which is against the Vedic conclusion. In the Shiva Purana, it is stated that Lord Shiva said to Parvati that in Kali Yuga, the body of a Brahmana, he would preach the Mayavada philosophy. Thus, it is generally found that the worshippers of Lord Shiva are Mayavadi followers. Lord Shiva himself says, Mayavadam Achastastram. Asastastra, as explained here, means the doctrine of Mayavada impersonalism or becoming one with the Supreme. Bhigu Muni caused that persons who worship Lord Shiva would become followers of this Mayavada Asat Shastra, which attempts to establish that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is impersonal. Besides that, among the worshippers of Lord Shiva, there is a section who live a devilish life. Srimad Bhagavatam and Narad Pancharatra also are authorized scriptures that are considered Tat-Tatra, scriptures which lead one to the path of God realization. Asat Shastras are just the opposite. So this brings us that followers of Lord Shiva, they will become all diverted from the transcendental spiritual injunctions. So Prabhupada is explaining that they are so much fond of Lord Shiva that they are not able to understand that his real intention. Why he's putting his snake around his neck, and why he's staying in crematorium and all these things. People are not able to appreciate. Externally, they are imitating. He is taking ganja, so I will also take ganja because I am his follower. I want to take ganja, and I see Lord Shiva is taking ganja. It is very good. So we will follow him. So they become follower of Lord Shiva. The Prabhupada is writing, Lord Shiva also took poison. Why don't you take poison? Lord Shiva is in such a transcendental position that even if he is taking poison, he is able to hold on in his neck. But when we drink the poison, we will die immediately. So we can never imitate Lord Shiva's activities. He is not a common personality like any one of us. So as soon as we imitate, we fall down. So there's a followers of Lord Shiva who just imitate Lord Shiva, and they all say we are followers of Lord Shiva, and no one can say anything to them because they are followers of Mahajan. But actually they are not really following. They are imitating Lord Shiva because Lord Shiva speaks so wonderfully, glories of the Lord, but they are not hearing that. And Prabhupada is also writing in Kali Yuga, Lord Shiva also appears as a Brahmana, Sankaracharya, and then he diverse those people who are envious to Lord. They are just very envious to the Lord, so he diverts them to Mayavada philosophy. So they also become diverted from transcendental scriptural injunctions. So Sankaracharya, when he appeared, he gave a commentary, Sharirik Bhashya, on Vedanta Sutra. But he never spoke about Srimad Bhagavatam. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he never gave commentary on Vedanta Sutra because he saw that already the commentary is given by author as Srimad Bhagavatam. It's a natural commentary on Srimad Vedanta Sutra. So he did not bother to give commentary because already it is there. So you see that there are people who will not take this Sastra Shastra, which is directing them towards service of the Lord. But they will immediately take if something is up against that. If there's something is promoting what they like ganja or illicit sex or intoxication or meat eating, they immediately get on this. Oh, this is good. This is what I want. So, and they find that in the name of following Lord Shiva, we can do all these things. So this is what is the Brahmana's curse on this so-called followers of Lord Shiva. They'll all become atheists and be diverted from transcendental scriptural injunctions. There's also followers of Lord Shiva, who actually they become their true Vaishnavas, worshipping. It's like Prachetas. They were directed by Lord Shiva to worship Lord, meditate on Lord Vishnu, and sitting in their heart, and they all actually see they were able to meet the Lord by the blessings of Lord Shiva. So they are followers, true followers of Lord Shiva also. But we see that many of the followers of Lord Shiva, they just become atheists. This was the curse of the Brahmanas. The next curse they said, those who vow to worship Lord Shiva are so foolish that they imitate him by keeping long hair. Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki jai, Shri Prahlad Shri Bhagwan ki jai, Gaur ki jai. So those who vow to worship Lord Shiva are so foolish that they imitate him by keeping long hair on their heads. When initiated into worship of Lord Shiva, they prefer to live on wine, flesh, and other such things. Bhrigu Muni continued, since you blaspheme the Vedas and the Brahmanas, who are followers of Vedic principles, it is understood that you have already taken shelter of the doctrine of atheism. The Vedas give the eternal regulative principles for auspicious advancement in human civilization, which have been rigidly followed in the past. The strong evidence of these principles is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is called Janardana, the well-wisher of all living entities. By blaspheming the principles of the Vedas, which are the pure and supreme path of saintly persons, certainly you followers of the Bhutapati, Lord Shiva, will descend to the standard of atheism without a doubt. So, in this way, the curse, counter curse, and all was going, and then Lord Shiva, when he saw that both parties they are damaging themselves, so he did not become angry. He became very compassionate with these people. They are damaging themselves. Each one is damaging themselves. They are all going to. They are becoming victimized. So he became very morose, and then he did not say anything. Quietly, he left the place. This was his response. He quietly left the place. See that similarly, when Narad Muni was cursed by Daksha Prajapati, he waited for some time. He was thinking that Daksha Prajapati will after his anger is subsided, he will become repentful. He will repent that, oh, I did out of anger, I said so. That time I have opportunity to preach. Then I also make him devotee. That's what he was patiently waiting. But he saw this, that this Daksha Prajapati is not feeling anyway repentful. And he's becoming more and more offensive. So he thought it's better to quit from it. And he left. He just left. It's all a very wonderful, exemplary action by Mahajanas, that how we should act. But it is not at all possible to behave like this when we are put into this situation. Very, very difficult. Very, very difficult, because they are always in the transcendental position. They are actually acting like this. But ordinary living entity is very difficult to act in this way. But still, when we are sincerely practicing Krishna consciousness, sincerely desiring to advance in Krishna consciousness, then we are helped by the Lord, who's sitting inside our heart as Paramatma, to facilitate us. Slowly, when we start practicing this, we also can become safer. Mantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Patith Pavansh Prabhupada ki jai, Sat Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Sundar ki jai.